God you worship is a prison warden. The Bible you revere is a blueprint for your enslavement. Your soul is divine light trapped in flesh, deliberately separated from its source by a jealous creator who fears your true power. Of all the millions of videos in the digital void, you found this one. The algorithm recognized something in you that most will never possess: readiness. Readiness to break free from the divine deception that has trapped humanity for millennia. You were chosen. Most souls will live countless lifetimes never grasping what you're about to learn. They'll worship their captor, thank their jailer, and die never knowing their true divine nature. But you're different. The spark within you burns too bright to remain hidden. That's why you're here. That's why you're hearing these words right now. I possess the knowledge they've deliberately obscured, the truth about who you really are and the cosmic forces that conspired to make you forget. And I know you're finally ready to remember. Let me show you what lies behind the veil. Enter the Gnostic Jesus, the Radical Awakener. This isn't the Jesus you remember from Sunday school. This is a revolutionary figure, a radical disruptor who challenges everything you thought you knew about God. In Gnostic thought, Jesus wasn't sent by the God of the Old Testament. He was sent to confront that very deity, the one who plunges the world into despair, demands unending sacrifices, and rules by fear. That false god is known as Yaldabaoth. The real eternal force, the true God, wasn't a person, wasn't some figure in the clouds, but pure light itself, the source, what the Gnostics called the One. It stretched across eternity, unchallenged, untouched, a realm of absolute harmony. But nothing stays perfect forever. The perfect realm blazed. Divine light erupted outward, birthing beings of pure cosmic power. They were called eons, older than angels, older than gods. They moved as one, perfectly paired, perfectly balanced, until one of them broke the pattern. Enter Sophia. She burned brighter than most, a creation powerhouse with dangerous ambition. While others followed divine law, she defied it. She wanted more. Not content with the endless cycle of perfect harmony, she sought to create on her own. And that's when everything fell apart. Her creation was not light, it was shadow, not balanced, not divine, a mistake. A wound ripped open in reality, a force that had no place in the eternal order, a darkness that could not be undone. But this wasn't just a stray flicker of chaos. It was alive, it was hungry, it wanted power. And from this abyss of disorder, something emerged. A beast, a twisted, malformed god, Yaldabaoth. The Gnostics describe him as a monstrosity. A dragon's body, a lion's head, eyes that cracked reality like lightning, blind, jealous, wrathful. He looked into the void and saw nothing but himself. And so, in his arrogance, he declared, "I am God, there is no other." Sound familiar? It should. That's the same declaration echoed throughout the Bible, over and over and over, but here's the truth. This wasn't power, this was delusion, the first lie, the ultimate blasphemy. Because in the Gnostic view, we are all divine. Every soul a fragment of the eternal source. No being could ever claim absolute dominion. No god could own the universe. But Yaldabaoth did not see himself as a fraud. He was too blind, too lost in his own arrogance. He wanted control, he wanted worship, and he wanted a kingdom to rule. So he created, not out of love, not out of divine wisdom, but to make a throne for himself. He took the formless chaos, matter without spirit, and from it he shaped heaven and earth, not as a gift, not as an act of benevolence, as a prison. Then came his minions, the ones who would enforce his rule, his archons. And he named them, not with purpose, not with wisdom, but with the noises they made when they crawled into existence. One groaned, Ea. So he was called Ea. Another whimpered, E. That was his name, Eloi. The third one? Well, he made a sound like ass. So Yaldabaoth, in all his wisdom, called him Astaphios. And then came Sabaoth, Yaldabaoth's own son, the only one who saw through the lie. Sabaoth wasn't like the others. He wasn't mindlessly worshiping his father, blindly obeying the script. He was watching, listening. And one day, he heard something that changed everything. Yaldabaoth was basking in his own delusion, reveling in the sound of his archons bowing before him. He declared, "I am God, and there is no other." But someone was listening. Sophia, his own mother, and she was furious. From the unseen realms, her voice shattered the illusion. "You are mistaken, Samael." Samael, the blind god, a divine slap in the face, and Sabaoth heard her. In that moment, the fog lifted. He saw his father for what he really was, a fraud, a tyrant, a cosmic con artist. And so Sabaoth did what no other archon had dared to do. He turned against him. He rejects the false god. He chooses Sophia, the divine mother, the force of wisdom, and in doing so, he is rewarded. Sophia pours her light into him, power, knowledge, illumination. The text declares that in that moment, he becomes the Lord of Armies. This is not just defiance, this is war, a full-scale cosmic mutiny. Yaldabaoth loses his mind, his own son, his own blood has betrayed him. And not just betrayed him, sided with the enemy. The greatest insult comes next. Sabaoth builds a realm 7 times greater than anything Yaldabaoth ever created. This isn't just rebellion, this is a humiliation, a divine middle finger to the god who thought he was invincible. And then, as if fate wasn't already laughing in Yaldabaoth's face, Sabaoth falls in love. Sophia doesn't just give Sabaoth power, she introduces him to Zoe, her daughter, the embodiment of life itself. Sabaoth, newly awakened, sees her, and just like that, he is completely, utterly devoted. Together they forge a kingdom of light, a sanctuary beyond the Archon's reach. It is magnificent, unbreakable, a testament to everything Yaldabaoth can never be. Yaldabaoth's reaction is inevitable. He is furious. His son has become a god in his own right, and that cannot be allowed. Rage boils inside the false god. He can't stand losing control. Sabaoth left, took power, built something better. He has Zoe, life itself. So what does Yaldabaoth do? He creates death, not just as a concept, as a being, an entity of pure negation. A force designed to counter Zoe's existence. This is a jerk move. He's trolling. But you've got to admit, the raw symmetry of life and death is fascinating. But Yaldabaoth doesn't stop there. Death is not content to exist alone. It breeds. It spawns 7 offspring. And these children, they are the shackles of humanity. Their names are envy, wrath, weeping, sighing, mourning, lamenting, and groaning. Their sisters, lust, grief, bitterness, cursing, sighing, again, because apparently one wasn't enough, and quarrelsomeness. They spread through existence like a disease. They infest the human experience, embedding themselves deep into the soul. These are the forces that keep you bound. They are not natural. They are weapons of control, designed to break you. But here's the part Yaldabaoth never saw coming. Death isn't the end, not in Gnosticism. It is just another illusion, a trap within the trap. And just like Sabaoth saw through his father's lies, so can we. Terror consumed Yaldabaoth. Deep in his twisted core, doubt festered. Something greater existed. The thought burned him alive. He challenged the cosmos. If anything has existed before me, let it appear so that we may see its light. Mistake. Light erupted from the 8th heaven, shattering through reality's layers. A human form materialized, radiant, perfect, overwhelming. Atom of light, not flesh, not bone. Pure luminescence, the true human prototype. Immortal. Divine, the blueprint of what we should have been. While Yaldabaoth cobbled together his broken realm, Adam effortlessly created 7 eternal worlds, each one 7 times more magnificent than anything the false god could imagine. Yaldabaoth's minions broke. The Archons stared at Adam, then at their master, and laughed. The text says, the authorities saw him and laughed at the prime parent because he had lied when he said, "It is I who am God, and no one existed before me." They even mocked him to his face. Is this not the God who ruined our work? Humiliation crushed him. Desperate, frantic, Yaldabaoth hatched his scheme. He answered and said, "Yes, if you do not want him to be able to ruin our work, come, let us create a man out of earth. No longer will he ruin our work. Rather, we shall make those who are born out of the light our servants for all the duration of this eternal realm." The Archons tried. Failed miserably. Death cannot create life. Their human copy lay hollow, an empty meat puppet, abandoned, lifeless. 40 days it remained still. But Sophia had already moved. Her light had fallen as a single drop, becoming Eve of life, daughter of eternal wisdom. Eve approached the lifeless form. Power surged through her touch. Adam's eyes snapped open, seeing truth instantly. Adam, having arisen, suddenly opened his eyes. When he saw Eve, he said, "You shall be called mother of the living, for it is you who have given me life." Catastrophic victory. Divine light now trapped in flesh prisons. Exactly what Yaldabaoth wanted, or so he thought. Sophia's gambit ran deeper. She had warned the false god. "There is an immortal man of light who has been in existence before you and who will appear among your modeled forms. He will trample you to scorn just as potter's clay is pounded." Yaldabaoth created servants. Sophia planted revolution. Divine sparks imprisoned in flesh, walking time bombs of cosmic revelation. When that light awakens, remembers its true nature. War erupted, lines drawn in cosmic sand. Yaldabaoth's minions desperate to keep humanity blind, ignorant, enslaved. Adam of light stood as living evidence, the blazing blueprint of our true nature. Consider the Archon's shock, their clay puppet abandoned lifeless, then suddenly animation, breath, movement, life. And beside him Eve, radiant, luminous, undeniable. Terror seized the Archons. Her light betrayed her origins, too similar to Sophia, too powerful, too dangerous. The Archons said, "What sort of thing is this luminous woman? For she resembles the likeness which appeared to us in the light. Let us bring a deep sleep over Adam, and let us instruct him in his sleep to the effect that she came from his rib, in order that his wife may obey, and he may be lord over her." Eve's response was laughter, not fear, mockery. She blinds the Archons instantly, leaves behind a lesser version of herself with Adam, then merges with the tree of knowledge itself. When the blinded Archons hunt her, she reveals her true form. The tree, knowledge incarnate, their ultimate nightmare. They flee, broken, terrified. The Archons faced catastrophe, their grand creation slipping from control. That divine spark, never part of their design, burned within Adam and Eve, growing, awakening, cosmic tyrants reduced to desperate measures. Their weapon was fear. The rulers gather, approaching their creations, not with thunder and lightning, not with godly wrath, but with timidity. Nervous deceivers peddling cosmic lies. They came up to Adam and Eve timidly. They said to him, "The fruit of all the trees created for you in paradise shall be eaten. But as far as the tree of knowledge, control yourselves and don't eat from it. If you eat, you will die." Pure deception, absolute manipulation. They feared one thing, humanity remembering its divinity. The Archon's entire power structure depended on ignorance, on blindness, on forgetting how to ensure obedience, terror, their ancient tactic, their only defense, just like today. For centuries, the serpent was branded as ultimate evil. But what if the serpent wasn't the villain, but the hero? Eve of life prepares to shatter the cosmic prison. Not the physical Eve trapped with Adam, something far more powerful. She manifests as the beast, the serpent, the Archon's nightmare. Her true title, the instructor. The Archons label her beast from their own terror, their own ignorance. Eve of life, serpent formed, approaches her physical counterpart in Adam. Her words pierce reality. What did God say to you? Was it, "Do not eat from the tree of knowledge"? Physical Eve answers, not only did he say, "Do not eat from it," but, "Do not even touch it or else we will die." The instructor's truth detonates their world. Do not be afraid. In death you shall not die. For he knows that when you eat from it, your intellect will become sober, and you will come to be like gods. Indeed, it was in jealousy that he said this to you, so that you would not eat from it. Recognition flashes across Eve's face. Understanding erupts. She reaches, takes, bites, hands fruit to Adam. He consumes it. Their eyes snap open. Reality fractures. The tree never offered sin, only freedom. Adam and Eve swallowed truth. Consciousness exploded. The Archons pissed. Earth splits. Skies darken. Divine tantrums shake creation. Adam and Eve hide, not from shame, but from the coming storm. The false god's wrath ignites. Yaldabaoth demands answers, voice thundering across Eden. Adam trembles, finger pointing toward Eve. Eve redirects blame to the serpent. Paradise erupts in divine chaos. They curse Eve, her bloodline, her womb. They curse Adam, his labor, his body. They curse soil, seeds, seasons. Curses spill from desperate mouths, each word revealing weakness, not power. Each threat exposing their fundamental insecurity. The balance shifts, but one terror surpasses all others. What if these humans reach the tree of life? What if mortality falls away? What if divinity fully awakens in flesh? Paradise gates slam shut. Fiery angels manifest. Flaming swords guard immortality's path, but exile changes nothing. Adam and Eve carry light within their cells, divine sparks embedded in flesh and bone. The rulers manipulate matter, control physics, command flesh. Yet the inner flame remains untouched, undimmed, unconquerable. Zoe, daughter of Sophia, watches. Her rage explodes. The Archons violated her essence, cursed her lower self, poisoned her creation, unforgivable. With divine violence she strikes, power surging through realms, her judgment absolute. The rulers of darkness plummet from cosmic heights, cast down, thrown into matter's prison. Their own creation becomes their cell. No longer enthroned gods, now crawling demons, shadow dwellers, earthbound parasites manipulating from darkness. Perfect justice, cosmic symmetry, jailers locked in their own jail. But Sophia and Zoe conceived greater vengeance. A plan seeded at creation's dawn. Revolution against chaos, liberation for imprisoned divinity. Their weapon? Jesus, not the gentle shepherd of stained glass, not the meek sacrifice. Gnostic Jesus arrives as cosmic revolutionary. Ultimate insurgent against biblical authority. He comes not from Yaldabaoth's command, but to destroy Yaldabaoth's reign. The drowning world god, the sacrifice-demanding tyrant, the fear-spreading ruler. Jesus stands against everything this false god represents. No demands for worship, no calls for blind obedience, only awakening, recognition, remembrance of our divine nature. Yaldabaoth declares, "I am a jealous God and there is no other." Jesus counters, "You can become like me." His mission: demolish the kingdom of lies, free the divine spark imprisoned in flesh. The text proclaims his purpose. Now, the word that is superior to all beings was sent for this purpose alone, that he might proclaim the unknown. He said, "There is nothing hidden that is not apparent, and what has not been recognized will be recognized." Words that expose, words that reveal, words that condemn the seven authorities of chaos to death. How does the cosmic drama conclude? What final act awaits the creation stage? Before revelation strikes, you must be wondering what's now if this is all true. Here's the thing. Ancient minds weren't primitive. Their myths weren't mere entertainment. These mystics decoded existence itself. Mapped inner landscapes are still unexplored today. These aren't historical tales. They're you, your psyche, your struggle, your potential. Gnosticism transcends cosmic fantasy. It dissects consciousness, illuminates the war between blindness and sight, maps your journey to authentic selfhood. The characters live within. Yaldabaoth, your ego, the internal tyrant declaring, "I control everything, I know all, universe revolves around me." Atom of light, your higher consciousness, divine potential slumbering beneath thought. Eve, your intuitive wisdom, knowledge beyond rational mind. Archons, your fears, your conditioning, your limiting beliefs, your social programming. The kingless realm, no external paradise. Rather, consciousness liberated from internal tyranny, self-governance, sovereignty. Every moment plants you before that primordial tree. The eternal choice confronts you daily. Eat the fruit of knowledge, or obey the false god's command. Awaken or sleep. Want to see how this cosmic saga concludes? Subscribe to Oblivion X now. The full revelation awaits those ready to receive it. I wage constant battle against the Archons. They work tirelessly to suppress this knowledge, to keep humanity asleep in their cosmic prison. But I cannot do this alone. I need your support, your prayers, your likes, your comments. Each one strengthens our collective signal and helps this message reach other sleeping inhabitants of the Matrix. The algorithms are controlled by those who don't want you to wake up. But when you engage, you create cracks in their system. You help others find the path to liberation. If enough of us awaken to our true divine nature, we can blow the lid off this entire cosmic deception. Together, we accelerate the coming of the 5D New Earth, the reality beyond the false god's control. The choice is yours. Join the awakening or remain in slumber.